So, Arms, you sing in English, but you are not English. You live in Argentina, but you are not Argentine. So, please tell us, who are you?
Well, yeah, I've had a bit of a strange... I've been in a lot of places and I've lived in a lot of places, but it's when I was 6 years old, my family moved to South Africa. I was born in Croatia. And my father got a job there and we went as a family. And I spent 20 years in South Africa. And when I was about 23 or 24, I decided to go travel and to see other places. And I loved Argentina. And I had been here as a tourist and traveling. I was backpacking for about 6 months. And later on, I lived in London and I came back to Argentina because I really missed the culture here. And so I ended up coming back and staying. And it's been 4 years.
4 years?
4 years.
And why did you decide to come here to Argentina?
Well, I wanted to learn Spanish. I like Spanish and...
Qué bueno. No? Like,
yeah.
You say like something like that?
Yes. It's a strange thing. I think I didn't visualize coming back to stay here for such a long time. I came back here and 6 months became 1 year, 1 year became 2 years, and then it's just time goes by so quickly. So I think the reason why I came was because I wanted to learn Spanish and I wanted to experience the culture in South Africa because of all the mix of cultures, as I was explaining, is so vast. There's a lot of different languages, a lot of different cultures, but one thing that is not very prominent or one thing that you don't hear or see is the culture in Latin America. It's very foreign. So I always had these questions, what's on that side of the ocean, you know? And I think that was why I was drawn to Argentina and to South America as a continent. So.
And you came with your ideas, your experience of life, and your guitar, and your songs, you know?
Yeah.
And?
I actually started writing songs in England when I was living in England, but when I came to Argentina, that was when it really kind of sinked in. I started writing just a lot of songs. So I guess you have a very inspiring country.
And what about your songs? Tell us about your influences.
My influences musically, musicians.
Of life, you know, something you read. I know you like to reading also.
Yeah, I think musically, in terms of music, a lot of inspiration would come from everything from the 60s right up until, I mean, there's so much music, and actually not a lot of it's very, very famous. A lot of Australian music, guys like Xavier Rudd, you know, even Bob Marley, which I love Bob Marley, so I love all his songs, and in some way I've tried to adapt some of that feel to the acoustic guitar. Jack Johnson, Oasis, the Beatles, you know, I love it all. I just love good songwriting, good and just very music that's just simple. Not looking for, you know, something that's very far out. Like there's some bands that I enjoy that it might be a little bit more experimental, like Dave Matthews Band, which is a great band, but it's far out musically for me. So I like, you know, reggae. I like simple kind of chords and strum along kind of songs. And then that's musically. Then as far as songwriting goes, or the content of my songs, I think it's everything. I could never just say it's one thing. What I can tell you what it's not. I could say, well, I try and write songs and write the lyrics so that they're not so generic and so that they're not phrases that you've heard before. I want the lyrics to sound different and honest. I try not to write the usual lines that you might hear in a song and try and make a difference. So. But influences, it's everything, I think. Politics, science, religion, love, travel, you know, everything.
And what do you feel when you play music?
I feel like it's something that I just could not do. It's weird. It's like it's not an obligation. No one's telling me I have to do it, but I just it's like it's like an urge. You know, I need to play music. I need to do it. I need to do it every day. It's not much more complicated. That's just like the best way I could explain it to you.
And do you think like this, like a moment in your life, or you think you are going to play music all the time?
I hope forever. I hope. I don't see what could be so important as to change that for me. I think it's part of my genetics now. You know? So I hope it sticks around. I really enjoy it.
I saw you once playing in the subway. I want to ask you, what do you feel when you play in the subway? What do you feel with the people?
The people, I think the first thing I feel is I have eyes on me and people are confused. They cannot place me because they know that I'm not from here. And
you sing in English, they don't understand,
I sing in English. I think some of them understand. I try to throw in a few covers because then the people tend to, they like it more, the people respond. But I like to keep the ratio of quite strong to my songs, and I think people enjoy it. They enjoy the music, but they are kind of freaked out. They don't know where to place me. And some of them come to me and ask me. And then when they realize that I speak in English, they're like, oh, okay, wait, this makes sense now. Okay, so you're not from here. And I think it's interesting for the people. I hope it's interesting. I hope they enjoy the music.
You live in other countries, no? And every time a musician comes to Argentina, they say like the Argentine people is different. You play in the subway and living here, you feel that?
I think every culture is different. Yeah, I think every culture has its nuances, you know. But different in which way?
Like more special, more passionate, you know?
I think the Latin culture is like that. I think you guys...
Not only Argentina.
No, I think you remind me of Italians, really. It's the same thing for me, you know. It's Italians that speak Spanish, really, you know.
Well, Arman, thank you for coming to La Fábrica Hacer Canciones, and we want to hear you play, okay?
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.